Here with our TSN baseball insider, Steve Phillips. And Steve, who knows if this will ever actually come to life, but the golden at-bat rule. How do we feel about it? Do you love it or do you hate it?
Yes. Yeah, I do, actually. Yes, I do. I love it and I hate it. I mean, I hate it for many reasons, not the least of which is, the tradition of the game, and we're changing the dynamics and adding at-bats to guys. Stats are going to come into play. I love it because who doesn't want to see Vladimir Guerrero Jr. getting an extra at-bat every game? Like, I would love to see that. And so I'm conflicted by all of this. What about you?
Yeah, I hate the name. Let me begin there. The golden at-bat rule cannot actually come to existence at any point. They have to make sure they market that properly because you're asking for ridicule. You're asking for every fan of baseball and other sports to be mocking that. But I'm with you on this. I understand where they're coming from. Rob Manfred is a very progressive commissioner. He has changed a lot. If we got into a time machine and went back 30 years, people would faint. Right, on the pitch clock, on the larger bases, on starting extra innings with someone on second base, not being able to change your pitcher whenever you want. All these different rules, but this is the most extreme because a lot of those were based on time consumption and trying to shrink the length of games. This is more about marketing. This is very point blank, Steve. This is about getting your best players up to the plate as much as you can and trying to manufacture viral moments. And I understand where they're going with this. My question would be, is this a slippery slope? If they implement this, Steve, do you really believe they'll stick to only one guy getting one extra at-bat?
Well, I think you're right. The slippery slope is really the question in all of this because, remember, this whole idea comes from the Savannah Bananas, the traveling team that has the quirky rules where actually when the ball's hit in the stands, if a fan catches it, the batter's out. Could that be something that we're going to commit? Fans are going to be bringing gloves to stadiums right and left. They're going to get involved in the play. I mean, look, this is a trial balloon by Rob Manfred. Throw it out there, see what sort of reaction you get with it. But the fact that it's based upon owners' interest is really intriguing to me because there were a lot of ideas that came to us as general managers where we're not really that interested in it. We don't like the rule changes, but we didn't make the rules. The owners are the ones who voted on it. And the fact that this is starting from the ownership level and the commissioner's office level makes me think that this actually has some legs to it, and it is something that's going to be considered.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he is clearly, Rob Manfred, under a mandate here to change the fabric of the game. And they have done that greatly in the past, I mean, to extreme measures. But this one is the most extreme. This one, when you compare this rule change to any other rule change I can think of in pro sports, this would be the most extreme, Steve. This is changing the fabric of the game. This is basically trying to set up moments where, again, they go viral. This is very 2024. This is very, very new age, but I also understand it from a marketing component. I get where baseball's going. You look at what the NBA does. They are superstar driven. You look at the NFL. If you're a superstar quarterback, everyone knows who you are, and those sports can put those players in that position. The quarterback's got the ball every single snap. An NBA superstar is playing 40 minutes a night. An NHL superstar is going to play 25 minutes a night if you're a guy like Connor McDavid or Austin Matthews. And like you said, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you could buy a ticket, go down to the park. He might get just as many at-bats as a guy like Kevin Kiermaier. So I understand why you would want more of that. But I'm curious where the players would come in on this because the superstars and their agents, Steve, they must be loving this idea. More at-bats, more viral moments, more marketing, more money. And are the owners going to be comfortable with paying these guys astronomical amounts of money because basically they're saying, we need more out of you?
Yeah, it's going to throw statistics into a tizzy, right? They won't mean anything. We know through the steroid era that numbers have been sort of challenged a little bit. But when you're adding potentially 162 more at-bats for a certain hitter during the course of a season, how many more RBIs is he going to have? How many more home runs is he going to have? How is that going to impact arbitration and money, everything else? Plus, it does away with the random nature of the game where the ninth hitter could be the superstar one day, where you can come up with that big hit, where you manage yourself into a moment, and then Juan Soto could lead off an inning and bat second or third in the inning as well. I mean, there's so many different aspects of this that are great, and so many different aspects of this that are really challenging to a traditionalist in the game of baseball. I'm not sure where it's going. I love it and I hate it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, and I do think they need to iron some details out. I'm skeptical that the analytics department throughout baseball also won't take this down a road that Rob Manfred and the owners don't want to see. right? It won't be Vladdy up there. It could be Kiermaier because he's got a better OPS against whoever happens to be on the mound. That's not what we're talking about here. But against the early stages, I'm intrigued. You're intrigued. I'm sure people around baseball are intrigued. We'll see where this goes.